What's going on, guys? I hope you're all good. Thanks for coming back to the channel, it's really appreciated. If you're unfamiliar with Trowel Talk, we're plasterers based in Warwickshire and we're covering all of our jobs, so we're vlogging all of our work. We also do tool reviews and everything plastering related. We also offer any tips and guidance for those of you that are learning the trade and you might be stuck in certain areas. If that's the case, subscribe and also join the Trowel Talk Facebook group. I think you'll find some value on there. There's a lot of help and encouragement that gets thrown around on the group, and it should help you should you be stuck in any area of plastering. There'll be someone there who will help you out. So in this video, we're going to be looking at a product called the Worktall boot. Now, I have done a review on the Worktall boots about a year ago. What are they? Well, they're these things here. And if you're unfamiliar with what these are, guys, they're basically stilts, plastic stilts. They've got two Velcro straps on, and there's a little heel support here where your heel goes against, okay? And again, I have covered these about a year ago, but I just wanted to do an update for you because it has been some time. There's a few questions out there about the reliability, the sturdiness, and also the big question is, how much height can you get out of them? Are they tall enough? So I wanted to cover that. I'll start by saying these are ideal if you're a taller spread, if you're a taller plasterer. And I have mentioned this on the other review. And the reason for that is you can only get a foot at the moment. You can only get a foot of height because they are fixed. Now the manufacturer is working on something. There is something in the pipeline to enhance the height even more. So if you're a shorter plasterer, there might be something in the pipeline for you that will increase the height of these, meaning that you can use these. What height should a plasterer be from the ceiling when plastering? And this question has been brought up and there's a bit of debate about it. Now, if you speak to any seasoned plasterer, what they'll tell you is, and this is my opinion as well, what they'll tell you is open your hand out, okay? Put your thumb on the tip of your head, and now your little finger here should be touching or almost touching the ceiling that you plan to plaster, okay? So that's the sort of distance, and this is the sort of angle that you want your arm. And I'll just grab my trowel. And obviously you've got a little bit of distance on the handle there as well. You've got a bit of extra height there, but that's the sort of distance you want to be, this sort of position, okay? And just to show you, this sort of position is where you want to be. So your arm isn't stretched at all. I've seen some guys plastering ceilings like this. So your arm's fully stretched, and what that will do, it will put a lot of stress on that trapezius muscle here and the rotor cuff. And you won't feel it when you know, in your early 20s, because like a plonker, I used to go around working off a crate, and once I'd laid on, troweled up, and it was the cross trowel and the polish left to do, I'd get rid of the crates, and because I'm 6'1", I'd go around like this on my tiptoes, and I'd be polishing up like this, running around like a loony, polishing my ceilings up. And at the time I thought I was dead clever, but I can tell you now I'm going to be 40 next birthday, and every now and again I do get a little twinge in that trapezius area there, and I can only put it down to working ineffectively when I was younger and overstretching that arm. So if I could offer any advice to you younger spreads, don't when you're doing your ceilings, make sure you're not overstretching at all, and that includes laying on as well. Make sure that you work in the correct distance from the ceiling, guys. So again, open up your hand, thumb on top of your head, make sure your little finger here is almost touching that ceiling that you're working on, okay? And the distance you want to be is around here, like this, nice and comfortable. You're not overstretching that arm, all right? And I'll demonstrate now that these Worktall boots do achieve that. So I'll just move back so you can see. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the boots, as I say, they've got two Velcro straps on, okay? And all you do is you just put your work boot in, Just make sure your heel is firm up against that back plate, and just make sure your straps are nice and tight, okay? These boots are only attaching to your shoe. So if your shoe ain't on right, these ain't going to be on right. Just make sure your laces are nice and tight. But as you can see here, I'm a comfortable distance away from this ceiling. This is 2.4, I believe. I'm going to measure that out for you so you can see. Hopefully the camera will pick this up and I'll zoom in. So tape measure touching the floor. I'll zoom in there so you can see. Okay, it's 2.4 or 8 foot. This is the size. 2.4 is about the average size of all of our ceilings because we're domestic plasterers. So 2.4 is about the average size for us. And that's why these boots get abused and used every day, because most of our ceilings are this height. Now, if I'm up against a 10-foot ceiling or a 12-foot ceiling, these boots are basically rendered useless because I just can't reach. So they have got their limits. And again, if you're a shorter plasterer, 5'5", or I think Matt's 5'9", I'll confirm that in the comments. But he uses these comfortably. Now, admittedly, he isn't as close to the ceiling as I am. And he's probably more like here. So he is stretching his arm a little bit more than me, but he says that he's comfortable and he's not overstretching, and he uses these every day, and he has done for a couple of years now, guys. So you don't have to be 6 foot plus, but I think it would help if you are, in my opinion, because it just makes sure that you're meeting that criteria that we all work to, the open hand. So I just wanted to clear that up because there's a lot of rumours going around about these saying that even if you're a taller plasterer, they're still too short, where you can clearly see now that I can reach the ceiling no problems at all. And again, just grab the trowel. I can reach no problem. Now, are they durable and reliable? Well, the proof's in the pudding. I've not replaced any of the straps on these. There's no cracks, damages, or splits or breaks in the boot or in the straps. Matt has replaced the straps once on his about a year back because the plastic buckle gave up. But apart from that, to be honest with you, and I think that the replace the straps was about 20 quid, something like that. But to be honest, because there's no real moving parts on these and they are very basic, they're essentially just a plastic bucket really with 2 straps on. So they're hollow inside. There is a rubber seal that goes underneath. And the idea of that is to stop you slipping about if you're on a surface that's a bit slippery. Now, I might have fixed mine in with super glue because they do come loose. And that was the first thing I'd noticed after using them for a bit, is that those little rubber seals, they do come loose. So, but for me, it was just a case of removing them, putting a little bead of Mitafix round, sticking them back in and just spraying them into place. And to be honest, they've not popped out since. So now we do work on carpeted floors most of the time. And we put this sticky back carpet protector down on the floors. So that might be why our rubber seals aren't wearing out. So if you're on site, if you've got a concrete or screed floor and you're using these boots, naturally the rubber seal is going to get a battering, and it's probably going to need replacing more regularly. So maybe the fact that we're domestic spreads with carpet underneath us most of the time might be playing a part in that. But yeah, in terms of reliability, durability, I can't fault the boots. Can't really fault them. Now, some of the rumours with them, along with they're not tall enough, but another rumour is that they're ankle breakers, which keeps coming up. Again, I think if they were dangerous to work on, if they were, ankle snappers, I think I'd know by now because I've been using them for over 2 years, and it's not like I'm using them now and again. I'm using them most days. Most sets we're using them. Even if we're not doing ceilings, I'll throw these on. I'll demonstrate why I do that, because unlike traditional stilts, when you're working in the Worktall boots, because they're not strapped to your legs and you've got full range of your ankle, What's great about them, and I did cover this in the original review a year back. What's great is that you can actually go right to the base of the wall, and then right up to the ceiling. So you're covering floor to ceiling, and you don't need to take the boots off. It is a bit of a workout when you're doing that, because you are stretching, so your knees are getting a bit of a workout. But again, if you don't fancy doing that, it's a case of whipping off the Velcro straps, which takes seconds, just to show you. Whip off the straps, and you're on the ground, so it's literally seconds. The other traditional stilts, I'm not here to bash traditional plastering stilts. I'm just comparing the two. With the other stilts, they're a bit of a faff to get on and off. The reason I don't get on with them is because I'm 6'1". I was looking for a set that were 12 inches. I can't find them. If you know of any stilts that are short, just drop in the comments, because I'm always on the lookout for shorter stilts, and I've never been able to find any. And I think the shortest I found is 15 inches, which would be too tall for even this situation. So about a foot height is what I need for my domestic jobs. These Worktall boots give me that, and that's why we use them, and that's why I like them.